Hello, everyone. I guess we are live now. So, hello, everyone. Thank you for
Hello,
joining.
hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining for this live launch of the C-Vive app, the app that is aimed at cancer awareness and prevention through technology. My name is Sneh, and I will be your host for today and will be moderating this session. I'm Community and Social Impact Manager at OutSystems. And I'm very passionate about everything that has to do with leveraging technology in use of good. So I could actually, and everyone who knows me know that I can talk about this for hours, but luckily I have here with me great panelists who are actually going to do all of the talking. So while I am presenting them, I would also invite our audience to drop a few words in the chat and tell us from where are you joining us. I see already someone saying hello. So like I said, we have this amazing app, a technological solution to a topic that we are all familiar with and have been affected one way or another. And the idea of creating this app actually came from Professor Darrell van Grunen. She is founder and director of the Center for Community Technologies at the Nelson Mandela University. And I'm actually very happy to have her on board because this all wouldn't be possible with the great, well-informed idea that she brought to us. Second in line is Gerda Strauss. She is head of service delivery at the National Cancer Association of South Africa. And her contribution to this is also very important because all of the information that this app was built on has been medically verified by this institution. And last but not least, we have here Nuno Gomes. Nuno is head of OutSystems Center of Excellence at NTT Data. And thanks to Nuno and his great team, this app is seeing now the light of the day because they selflessly contributed their skills pro bono and developed this app. So welcome all and thank you for being here. Just to set the scene for this conversation, I remember talking with Darrell at the beginning of our cooperation, and the fact that what was shared was that in South Africa, the prevalence of cancer was very high, and especially in rural areas of South Africa. And then with the pandemic, as everywhere in the world, the access to health services become difficult, but also the access to the verified and true medical information as well. And access to this type of information is crucial if we want to raise awareness and prevent certain diseases, in this case, cancer. So I have just to understand the problem. Gerda, can you share with us what are the numbers, the prevalence of cancer in South Africa, as well as what are the typical or the most common types of cancer that affect men, women, and children in South Africa?
Yeah, thank you so much. What a privilege for me to be part of this. South Africa is quite an interesting country, but what is definitely part of our reality is cancer, because that is where I am working day by day. And our cancer registry, it is the last one that we do have is 2019, indicated that the top cancers among women in South Africa is firstly breast and then secondly cervical cancer. Now, regarding the breast cancer, you will see a tendency of 1 in 27 women, and with cervical cancer, 1 in 42 women in South Africa will get these two cancers. However, we must understand that more people, women, die from cervical cancer because of the fact that they present very late. And that is all about ignorance and not really have access to proper screening and facilities to go to. Regarding men, we will find that the top cancer in men is prostate cancer, followed by colorectal cancer. Now, 1 in 15 guys in South Africa will get prostate cancer. In 1 in 77, colorectal cancer. It is important for us to know that if I give this information, you must just realize that that does not include non-melanoma skin cancer, because that is in both men and women actually the second most common cancer in South Africa. And then when we talk about children, this is not easy, but this is also part of our reality. And in South Africa currently, we see about between 800 and 1,000 children diagnosed annually with a type of cancer. And what is sad is that we know that this is maybe only half of the people that sit with children that really are very sick and could not be diagnosed properly with their illness. So this is just to give you a broad overview of our reality.
Thank you, Gerda. It's always shocking to hear these numbers, but like I said, cancer is really a universal topic and it affects everyone around the world. So having access to information and knowing this information is very important. Before we jump into the solution in this case, can you tell us, so we know that the prevention is important. What are the mechanisms? What exists now for people to get access to this information? You're muted, Gerda. That
Funny
happens
thing.
always.
Yeah, part of the new vocabulary, eh? The Cancer Association in South Africa was founded in 1931. So last year we celebrated our 90th birthday. But we survived over the years because we adapted. We are on the forefront in the cancer control in South Africa and also in Africa. And I think what is very important for us is to make sure that we contribute towards awareness and also risk reduction. And we do that basically through a wonderful website. It is a scientific based, comprehensive type of information that can tell the public more about the warning signs of cancer, the importance of going for regular checks at your health practitioner, but also the importance of a healthy lifestyle. Now, we really use everything that we can, any type of social media platform, to promote our health campaigns and to empower the public with information, correct information on cancer, and also give them some guidelines on a risk reduction. What is very important for us is that we also use the radio, because for rural areas to have always access to radio, and then other printed media and TV to really tell people more about the whole cancer control attitude and approach that we have about awareness, diagnosis, treatment, and survivorship. You know, Sneh, that we have 11 languages in South Africa. It's a lot, eh? And this makes it very difficult for us to convey this message. It's very expensive to get the message out there in specific languages for the people. And therefore, we have a lot of ignorance and myths and fears around cancer. And therefore, late diagnosis and poor prognosis is part of a daily process and journey of the cancer patients in South Africa. Now we believe, and that is why I'm so glad to be here today, and so thankful for Professor Darrell focusing on cancer with this development, that because cancer truly believes that knowledge can help beat cancer. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerda. Yes, you're right. Knowledge can help us all, and there is something interesting that you said. And I think when we're speaking from the, let's say, from Portugal, from a privileged place, and when we think that there is maybe no need for radio because we all have access to technology, that's not quite true, because there are part of the world that still don't have access, maybe to electricity, to other basic things, which technology is also one of them. So it's important to remember that. Like I said, Darrell was the one who brought the idea. She was the one who identified the problem and reached out to us. So Darrell, can you share a bit with us the local reality? You're based in Eastern Cape, and how the idea to finding a technical solution for this came.
Thank you, Sneh, and greetings from the city of Gqeberha in South Africa, formerly known as Port Elizabeth. So yes, there's quite a history to this idea, and this has come quite a long way. The original idea started through some conversations with some of our oncologists who work in the rural parts of the Eastern Cape, in the Mthatha region. And for those who do not know the Eastern Cape, it's in the area that's probably halfway between Gqeberha and the city of Durban. So it's more or less halfway there. They were talking to us and mentioning the fact that, there's a high prevalence of cancer, as we've heard from Gerda now, but also that people do not have access to information, so they wait too long. By the time they get to a medical practitioner at stage 4, there's not much that they can do. So I then put the question out there and said, okay, so what are the most frequently found cancers in the rural parts? And it aligns to the national statistics, but in this part of the world, and I have to say this is a very rural province where you have low access to healthcare facilities and vast distances. So some of the most prevalent cancers is that of breast cancer amongst women, and then the prostate cancer, as Gerda said, but also cancer of the esophagus in the Eastern Cape, and then lung cancer amongst men and women. Now, I have to say that we have a high prevalence of TB in this province, so there's also some relations between those. And then further down the line, in a more personal space, I came in contact with cancer amongst some of my colleagues and friends and so forth. And that just underscored the need, to actually look at how do we make information accessible and how do we make it easy for people to understand without the stigma that may go along with that.
Exactly. And when you look at is there any other solution that are maybe applied in other types of diseases that also worked well, that was maybe an inspiration for this?
So let me first say, as you indicated at the start of this event, that I am the director of the Center for Community Technologies. So what we do is to use technology as an enabler in society. And as such, we work a lot with people in remote and rural areas and looking at how do we use technology to solve everyday challenges that people experience. So looking at it from that perspective, we have previously identified the need to use technology in spaces like school health, where you have school nurses going into schools screening children. We have used it in the space of wellness of educators and of learners in schools, looking at personal wellness, managing their own health, looking at diabetes, specifically high prevalence of that in the Eastern Cape. And then also, of course, I mentioned the TB. So we're also using that in TB in a very different way to what we are using it here. And then previously, we've also developed some mobile apps and solutions with our partner organizations that are being used by community healthcare workers to look up information in different languages in the rural areas. And of course, being very visual because of our declining literacy levels that we have in specific areas. So based on those that were really successful and well used, we knew that a technology solution can certainly add value to this situation and make a difference to the people out there.
Yeah, that sounds right. And actually, now when I'm thinking, when you are working in technological sector, and when one of the tools you have is a technology, well, it's what they say. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So you think that everything can be solved with the technology. But now coming back together and asking, like, for you as a health professional or someone who works in a health sector, how does this looks to you? So you say you use radio, you use focus groups. How does the use of technology fits into health, and is it helpful, and in which way?
I've got that. I'm unmuted. I think that the Cancer Association started around in 2012 with a very humble project online and called e-Kickbutt, and that's a program that run. It's a email based program that help people that is trying to stop smoking, and there's a lot of tips and guides, and so it runs over 12 weeks. So that was the first humble start. We also start working on an iSurvivor program where people can then get letters from Auntie Sophie. And you won't believe it, but so many people think she's real. And after the husband or the wife died, the people come back and say, "Oh my goodness, Auntie Sophie was so good for my wife." And that is to take people through the normal experiences that they have, after diagnosis. But we also developed a coping kit that's online available. So that is through the years, the start. But during the pandemic, we more and more realize the value of technology. Now, most of us are social workers and nurses. So then we need to go to partners like Professor Darrell and her team to help us and say, okay, this can work and this cannot work. So what we did now, the past, can I say 6 months, we worked in connection with the university on a pain app, a cancer pain app, and we will launch that next week on International Survivor Day. So I just want to say that we realize maybe a few years back, this is the way to go, but the pandemic just pushed us into this. And we also started off with a wonderful online professional counseling in 7 of our 11 languages. So I can say that this organization truly believes in the power of technology. And with the knowledge of our partners, we can come there that we can use it. So I can see that the app like this one and all the others that is coming will definitely close the gap that we have currently in terms of awareness and education and care.
Yes, I think you explained it very well, and being passionate not only about the helping people and doing our work, but leveraging technology to do it better and to bridge the gaps that exist. It's very important. Another important thing, and we are just about to jump into the technical solution, but I just want to confirm, actually, to ask probably Darrell. This app contains a lot of information. A lot of information probably is changing, a lot of information that is medical. How are you managing this? This all information is medically verified. It's like, what is the background process of the content itself?
Yes, thank you, Snen. I think that's a very important question. firstly, just to emphasize that the information is medically verified. It's not Dr. Google that we use to put the content in. Um, and of course, what we are doing is that there is quite a bit of research happening within our institution and some of my colleagues in other areas who are looking into the most recent events and the updates with regards to the information. And of course, our partner in this being CANSA, we will regularly check the information and ensure that we stay abreast of the newest information and then update that. And I think just also what is important to mention is that currently the app is only available in English and isiXhosa. But Nuno has said now that we are ready to launch. They're happy to assist us in getting it into other languages as well. So I'm looking forward to the next phase of the app where we not only update the content, which we will do, but also to look at bringing it into other languages. And then as we onboard people to use the app, to, of course, expand on some of the information that is there. As a starting point, one always has to start somewhere. So you have a basic set of information, but as the usage grows, so will the knowledge base as well.
Thank you, Darrell. And considering that you just call out Nuno in this live event, I guess there is there is no backing now. So I just wanted to recap. I think there are a few important information that Nuno is now going to help us to understand how this was solved. But there was a need for app that consists multiple languages, app that is available, that is also suitable for the population that might be illiterate, and also for population that might not have constant access to electricity or internet, so also having offline capabilities. I just want to make sure, I see that a lot of people are dropping comments, to make sure that if you have any questions, feel free to leave them there and we will pick them up throughout the session or at the end where we have dedicated 15 minutes for that. Nuno, coming to you. Nuno is sitting there and thinking, am I ever going to talk? I know that you and your team, first of all, work pro bono. We are all here with the goodwill and with this faith that we're going to gain some good karma points and change a couple of lives out there. And I know that you worked in a short period of time. It was a lot of dedication and commitment. So I just wanted to hear from you, what was the motivation to do such a work, to invest in something that, like I said, the benefit is good karma?
Well, greetings to my colleagues here in the panel and to all the audience that is following us worldwide. Okay, and to share with you that I'm really pleased to be here today. Regarding the motivation, well, we are part of a company that deeply believes that companies and communities are part of the same ecosystems and they should cooperate. And NTT Data put in place a cooperative social responsibility policy to guide and enable the cooperation with communities locally and also worldwide. So for us, it is really natural. We already did this on other opportunities with other entities, and we are really proud of our company DNA. So when the opportunity came, we didn't look back and completely deep dive in the challenge. Okay, we faced this challenge as a mission to provide the REL and the CCT with a tool that should be powerful enough for them to be able to deeply and impactfully increase the awareness of cancer, not only in South Africa, but mainly in South Africa, but we believe that can also be extended worldwide because we have contents in English. So we are really motivated, as you said, Sne, to be able to change some people's life with the right information, valid information, medical check the information. That is really, really important.
Excellent. A very important point. This app is available in English, so it's available for anyone, anywhere in the world. It came from South Africa as an idea, but definitely it has a wider use. No, I just mentioned before a couple of important. First of all, cancer is a sensitive topic. There is stigma, there is fear, and second, there was for local or like for local needs, there was a lot of requirements. Like I said, offline languages and everything else. Yeah. What were the technical aspects that you have to consider when developing this app?
We look at the challenge with a lot of responsibility. Okay, so we start not by thinking about the technical aspect at first, but thinking about what kind of population we want to reach. And the answer is quite simple: as much as possible. So we have to build a mobile application, okay, completely aligned with the REL and CCT vision. And we also wanted to be culturally respectful. So we decided to support multiple languages, like you told before, not only the English, but also the other official South Africa languages. And obviously this can be extended to any other language. And we wanted also to ensure that content is always available, okay? So we had to include an offline experience, like you mentioned also, because we know that, unfortunately, internet is not universally available. The availability of internet changes across the countries, across the globe. So we have to have the chance that people synchronize the content, and later on a place they don't have internet, they can consult it and become informed of the cancer subject. And when we defined this set of aspects, then it was the moment that we start focusing on the content. Okay, how we're gonna present the information to our users. Okay, and this is the place, the moment when we start thinking about how to overcome cancer stigma. Okay, so we knew and we know that cancer is always a difficult matter to talk about. It's what we know. Okay, so we had to create an inclusive and calming design. Why? Simply because we need to create the right mood for the users to explore the contents. Okay, so they feel engaged with the content and don't abandon the application. We also needed to target a vast audience, okay, no matter their age or their digital literacy level. So we decided to create an intuitive and smooth user journey. What is the main focus is to enable an easy content exploration of the application. And we also wanted to bring everyone aboard, okay? No matter their scholarship, as Darrell also mentioned, or the disabilities. So we had to support multiple content types, obviously the text, but also audio and video and animations, but also carefully choose the color palette so we can also work on the contrast for other disabilities. And at the end, we also wanted to challenge users to explore more and more the contents, because there's a lot, the set of information is large, and we want to challenge them to keep learning more. And so we really needed to put some kind of gamification strategy to the app. And the last aspect that I want to highlight, Darrell also mentioned it, is that we have to give Darrell and CCT the ability to centrally manage all the contents that are later on available on the application, mobile application. Without this capability of updating, of reviewing or removing contents, what we know is that it's just a question of time for the application to become outdated and completely irrelevant. So we know that CCT and the medical community, like CANSA, must be able to continuously reviewing and adding and extending the information available to the communities. So this is our main aspect that I would like to highlight, and that better characterize the C-Vive challenge.
Excellent. But I think that we will all get better picture of everything if you actually show us the app. You have a demo ready, right? Because I think we're all waiting to see how it works. Also, for the people who are here, the C-Vive app is going to be available on the App Store in hours, I would say. It's been a bit delayed, but soon it's going to be available. So feel free to check it. And I will also invite everyone who might have contact or might have survived cancer to leave your comments as Nuno goes through it and leave your feedback about the app. I think it would be interesting if possible. Nuno, we're ready for your demo.
Okay, so I'm going to switch to the slide of presentation. I'm going to show you some videos and give you some round trip on the videos. So the important thing about this is that when you get to the application, we really offer guidance on how to use the application, but also what you can get from the application, okay? Like stop smoking tobacco or to help diagnosing some kind of cancers. And notice that we are using a smooth color palette to engage the users. Also, we are trying to targeting some kind of content based on whether you are a woman, a man, or children, okay? It is important because information is targeted. When you get on the home screen, we also continue to onboard the user for the users to better know how to use the application. And it is really an inclusive graphic and visual experience, and also together with a very intuitive interface, because you can navigate through the several kind of information, like the details of cancer, the campaigns, and then the contacts. Okay, so we can also now moving to the home page. Okay, home screen. You start by seeing what we call it a personal growth of awareness score that mirrors the amount of content that you already explored. The more you explore, the flower will grow and bloom. Also, we focus on a positive approach, that we focus on the prevention and showing simple but effective preventive behaviors that could help you on the cancer matter. You have to know that some of daily behaviors can trigger some kind of cancers. And at the end of the screen, we target the campaigns. Okay, we are promoting campaigns that target the specific user based on their selection earlier. So users can be aware of other social activities they can join, and with this we try actively to reduce cancer stigma by showing that there's other people that are talking about same subjects. Okay, as I told you earlier, we can smooth navigate to the application with the bottom menu. So as I told you, some awareness, positive approach, the stigma, and the smooth navigation. When you are on this page, on the contacts, you can also explore some information that is outside of application. This is an in-app navigation. You can explore information, for example, in CANSA, and then you return to your application on a very smooth way. In this moment, I want to show you that you saw that the users can select a gender, and then on the cancer, they can select which gender they want to see the information about cancer. The idea is that the content that are available are really easy to read, short descriptions, or at least the shorter as possible to better describe the cancer but without complex medical or healthy terms, so that everyone can understand the contents. We also do and try to guide and do a step-by-step learning path by splitting information in risk factors, symptoms, diagnoses, and treatments, so that it's not too much information at a time. People can read, and as fast as they feel comfortable to move on, they can move on, and they have more information following the same rules. In this case, kind of bulletized information that they can furthermore explore. Once again, with the short sentences and clear sentence. Every time you see this symbol of the sound, it means that you can use the text-to-speech functionality. Okay, so target information, easy reading content, step-by-step learning path, and animations and videos. I'm going to show you a little here that there's specific content of information that are better understood if they are visual. Okay, so we also add the ability to put animations and videos embedded in the content, and giving the option for the users to use the information content that better helps them understanding the situation. In this case, we are talking about self-examination for the breast cancer, and you can see with a simple animation becomes very, very intuitive about the way that women can do effectively self-examination on breast cancer. But if it's not enough, they want more detail or not an animation, some other kind of information, they can also explore it by video on the information that comes from CANSA, for example. We're gonna see it briefly here also on this video. So I also talk about the speech to text that is available. You can see, simply play it, and you have the information once again embedded in the application. I do it very quickly, not to bother you. So
you're not bothering, that's for sure. Actually, the moment of the gamified experience, I think it contributes, because we know that the apps that only have content and not interaction are usually downloaded and then forgotten. Yes. But with this type of content, definitely something engaged. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm very curious.
Don't worry.
About one thing. This app looks very advanced. Animations and everything that is inside. How long did it take to build this app?
Well, you're right. The experience is really amazing. Okay, and we made this app during the challenge that OutSystems made. We did it completely in 5 weeks. Okay, with a team that I'm going to present to you at the end. This is only possible because we are using a low-code OutSystems platform that really enables to deliver fast, in a short term, applications with amazing experiences, taking care of most of the complex stuff by us, because almost all the complex behaviors are available out of the box in the platform. You just have to compose and focus not on the technical side of the problem, but on the side of how to help CCT and RL building the better solution to effectively reach the users and help them on the awareness about cancer. So we focus on give value to our clients, in this case to Darrell, and not on solving all the technical stuff that is behind. But without that complexity that is quite transparent for the developers, wouldn't be possible to deliver in 5 weeks an application with all these functionalities and experience. Yes. Good question.
5 weeks is not much time, so congrats on that. Please move on with the demo.
Yeah, And please take in account that I'm going not to show you today the back office where the CCT team and the CANSA team reviewed and composed all the contents that we are seeing here. Okay, so regarding campaigns, we already saw the video playing. Here in the campaign screen, you can see all the campaigns, okay? The campaigns that are targeting women, men, or children. So you can explore them. And what we are trying to reach here is that seeing how many campaigns that are available, I can tell you that if you download the application later on, you will see more than one, at least 2 or 3. But when you see that there are so many campaigns and people talking about the cancer, will create a sense of openness. It is a subject that people can talk about, and create the spirit of being part of a community of the people that are also exploring this content, that want to know more about cancer. So it is really important, this part of trying to bring people with same interests or same questions together to talk to. And now, gamification at work. As you can see here, we have our flower growth and is now blooming. Okay, so it means that the user really explored a lot of contents. Okay, and can keep exploring more and more. So it is important. Also, I want to show you, as Darrell and Sne told us, that we can target several languages, and when you change for a new one, not only the labels of the application will change, okay, but more important than this is that all the health and medical content will also change accordingly, okay, and all these support for multiple languages is done by the application, and then is extended by contents that the back-office users can add. Okay, so it is really important. We are effectively trying to bring cancer subject to regional and local community contexts, and not only something that they think that can happen outside of their world. Okay, this is something more distributed. Okay, more widely distributed. At this moment, we are almost closing these videos for presenting the application. I want you to notice that, I already noticed that, but that all the contents are managed by the back office. So what you are seeing here is the vision of the application that is, for example, now, but RL and team and CANSA can effectively add more contents, and we are talking about all the contents, all the campaigns, all the prevention cards, all the types of cancers, adding more risk factors, increasing the detail of the information, adding more campaigns, and even the contacts, the page contact can be all full customized by the back office. So they have a full solution to help them reach the community, and to always and in the future continuously update and target them with more and more information and valid and medical checked information. So I have no more to show you about the application, but everything that I showed here today couldn't be possible, wouldn't have happened if without the amazing team that worked together to deliver this application. I'm going to show you them, okay? And I have to nominate them all. So we have João Alves, Nadine Gandaio, Nivaldo Pereira, Helena Lameiro, Daniela Santos e Francisco Cunha. They put all their energy, all their commitment, all their innovation and creativity on this application, always seeking to deliver the best solution that we can deliver in 5 weeks, so that the application or the solution could be effectively used by the RL to start spreading the word and spreading the awareness about the cancer. For all of them, I really thank you from my part and from NTT Data part.
Congrats to everyone, and I wish we are in a room all together to give a big round of applause to these amazing people. This is what we call our everyday heroes, right?
Yeah.
People who put their skills, energy, and time into something good. So congrats to everyone, and Nuno, to you for leading this team. This is really
I'm
amazing.
really proud of them.
I think we all are, because this was a great work, short period of time, and something that is definitely going to create a lot of impact. I saw that there was a question from the audience about the app being available in the App Store in Mexico. I believe that as soon the app is still not in the App Store because we have a small delay, but it's going to be in a matter of days, and it's going to be available worldwide, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just a little bit of patience, and we will try to also promote and share a link just to make sure that everyone have access to it. This was great, and I think we might need another session, like a technical session, where this Nuno and his team can actually explain for the folks, because I saw also that we have people who are learning OutSystems, so also to show what you can do with this platform, which is amazing. So I just, because you touch upon the fact that using OutSystem, using a low-code solution was something that contributed to delivering this app in a very record time. Darrell, you as a, let's call it a client or a customer on this side, how you feel about using a low-code or no-code solution comparing to traditional coding? For example, having a technical people or developers on your side, but implementing something that is low-code, how did this work from your perspective?
Thank you, Sneh. And yes, it's a very exciting space to work in. I think the advantages of having the low code, no code environment means that we can get real life solutions out there much quicker than what we would have done. And also, if you look at the size of the team that worked on this, traditionally, if we had to go the traditional coding route, it would have been probably well, not probably, we know it would have been a much longer process, and also getting all the graphics and everything sorted, creating a database in the back end, and then not to mention the back office content management system that was created with relative ease, and of course then the ease of managing the content. So we have non-programmer, non-technical people who are now able to manage the back end. So it's very, very simple and easy. And I really do think that, of course, that there's always a place for everything, but depending on what it is that one wants to do, and if you want very visual interfaces with gamification, etc., added, I really think the low code, no code is the way to go. It leans itself to innovation and, of course, to a very, very good user experience. And I must just add, and I'm now going beyond the question that you asked me, but I think the novelty of this lies in this very exceptional interface where the team truly met the brief that they were given in terms of creating something very unique, very different. Because when you've looked at C-Vive for the first time, you are not ever going to forget that interface because it is so unique. And I really need to applaud the team for that. You know that during the period when this was being developed, I met with all the teams on a weekly basis, and it was absolutely fascinating to see how this particular team went from strength to strength in building the app, and their creativity just the sky was the limit in terms of that. So really, really well done to them. And of course, from my side as well, a very, very big thank you on behalf of all the people in South Africa who will be using this. And specifically, the challenge of, let me just also make the comment of putting something in isiXhosa on a screen. isiXhosa is not a simple language in terms of the wording that you use. You have long phrases. One English word is maybe described in 3 isiXhosa words. So they had to make provision to meet those requirements and fit all that text onto the screen. And again, now coming back to the question about code, no code, again, this environment lends itself to making that appealing and far easier to do.
I'm so I got really emotional listening to this, and actually, I'm really happy that the star aligned and we somehow met at the right time and get the right group of people to build this app. Because, like I said, I truly believe that having something like this, having tool like this, accessible to everyone, very easy to use, very intuitive, like you said, and a user interface that is very inclusive, very straightforward. I believe that this is going to have a lot of impact around the world and not only in South Africa. So I see that we're approaching the end of the session. Our audience, although we have almost more than 100 people here, is very shy. They don't ask questions. Maybe that's because we explain everything so well. So I have one final question for all of you. What are your expectations now when this app goes live? What are your, like, I don't know, it can be personal, it can be professional expectation that you think that this app or your work will achieve?
May I start?
Yes, Kara, go.
Yes, I'm so excited. I just want first of all to say, Nunu, thank you for you and your team. People, I can't see your faces now anymore, but you're really unsung heroes. Thank you so much for taking this up. And I can promise you, if you don't know South Africa, you will touch not only the brain with knowledge, but definitely the heart of people through this wonderful app, because you will help people, empower them through all the work that you did. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, on behalf of people that's maybe far away from big cities, but do have a cell phone in their house. And you know, what we realized also during COVID is that in the old days, we traveled miles and miles to go and do talks and gave information out, and the people, in any case, throw the paper away. I must tell you that. But now it is something that's not only close to them, but it's in their hand. It is there. And I just want to say, wonderful. And we cannot, maybe we can give you feedback in a year or what on what happened and how many people were actually reach through this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gerda. We would love to hear and to know about the impact of this.
Well, thank you for your kind words, Gerda. Okay. What I can tell you from my perspective, and this is my personal perspective, I expect that one person at a time, we can still be using this application to create impact in 5 years from now, okay? Because I know that the solution can be really configured and adjusted to the new reality that the upcoming years will bring us regarding the cancer information and the way we want to approach people. But I'm sure that with this base, we can keep going, keep adjusting, and still reaching the people that needs to be reached. And once again, we don't want to, one at a time, we know that we will have impact in many people.
Thank you, Nina.
So I have the privilege of having the last word. So let me first say that my vision, and Shne, you know, from the first time that we started speaking, the vision grows all the time. And sometimes I think if the vision doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough. So the dream is growing to add more and more to the app, add elements of gamification more than what we have now, and linking it to rewards systems and live counseling and all sorts of things like that, but one step at a time. And I want to say that yesterday we celebrated Africa Day, um, and that it's a very unique day in the world, because as Africans we're very proud of our continent that we live in and live on. I think what is so beautiful in this endeavor is the fact that we managed to get Africa and the West and Europe to take hands and bring something very unique to the world, showing that there are actually no boundaries when it comes to specific health diseases and healthcare issues. And sometimes continents do not need to separate us when we do these things, because the end goal remains the same. And in saying that, if I may end with a quote from the great Haile Selassie, um, as we celebrated Africa Day yesterday, Haile Selassie once commented and said that if you are open-minded and ready to learn, the best learning experience is that of a life experience. And I think we have just demonstrated through this app that life experiences can lead to extraordinary things. So let me stop at that. Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you, Darrell. And I think these are the perfect closing words for this session. We took the whole hour. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for bringing idea, for making it happen, for your expertise, technical skills, time, energy, effort, passion, whatever you have brought into this. And I really believe that this is going to change some lives. Thank you. And let's meet in a year and see how many lives this changed. Thank you all.